Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid?
Dreams. American dreams.
Awake, thou that sleepest.
Wake up.
Open your eyes.
And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Are we dreaming?
Oh, I can hear.
I can hear you.
I can hear. I can hear.
Pretend.
I hear when you
Pretend that everything's okay.
It's spiritual. Shalom, family. Welcome to Shattered Paradise.
They cannot intrude here.
Man, the enemies of the Most High Yah, they do not fare well.
Expose them.
Many of those with an evolutionary Darwinian worldview, who religiously repeat the mantra, trust the science, now find themselves suffering. Undergoing a painful physiological transformation, and many of them will not even survive this period of metamorphosis.
Lo, they have rejected the word of the Lord, and what wisdom is in them?
As a percentage of humanity's so-called best and brightest have their lights pharmacologically dimmed, their pride and glory was once their IQ, but now they find themselves on the spectrum, crippled by cognitive function on a steep decline.
Notice that you've been more forgetful than usual lately. Researchers think they know the reason why, and they say it might have something to do with the COVID-19 pandemic. Here's Brandy Smith.
Why could the COVID-19 pandemic cause brain inflammation in people who never caught the virus? Since the start of the coronavirus pandemic, reports of psychological distress, fatigue, and brain fog increased significantly, even among people never infected. So what's causing these results?
Well, the one thing that we see is that this is a widespread problem. The memory issues, the confusion, the brain fog.
Dr. Allison Rice with the NYU Long Island School of Medicine says they are getting a consistent story of people all over the world feeling like their thoughts are fleeing. There is no data to say as to who is more affected or at risk, and it's happening everywhere, including in Bakersfield.
What we've seen is a lot of short-term memory issues. So we don't know why that's occurring, but it is.
Not be able to, I can't think of the word, sorry, and that they I can't think of the word.
1 month ago, City News spoke with Susie Golding as she struggled to form a sentence and has had to change careers to a job in a less mentally taxing work environment. We spoke with her again today at work, where a mask is required. Unfortunately, her symptoms haven't changed.
I can't multitask like I used to once.
But beneath all the brain fog, confusion, and disorientation, there seems to be a new intelligence, a new presence, an instinctive driving force that's behind the wheel, altering their attitude and demeanor, resulting in strange behavior.
Strange behavior. A movie of mystery, horror, and suspense.
Clear and unnatural picture begins to form in my mind. They're gonna strap me into some chair and poke around with my gray cell.
Would you just wait a minute and listen to me? 2 sessions, 2 days, $100 a day.
Behavior is nothing more than the sum of the mechanical activities of our bodies.
I was just wondering, are you doing anything tonight?
Oh, he's dead. And the dead don't come back and take revenge.
We've heard your views on our work in the past, Mr. Brady.
Save the crap for somebody else. You got a list of people in the program?
Now just relax, Pete. It'll be over in no time.
It started all over again.
Let me go! Let me go!
Pete, what's wrong?
I don't feel so.
Pete!
Mr. Brady, I see you found your way.
Pete, are you ready?
The choice is yours, Mr. Brady. Either give him the gun or shoot him. The choice is yours, Mr. Brady.
Oh, Jesus. What did you do to my kid? What did you do?
Strange behavior.
Hvor vi har brug for vaccinerne.
Their pseudo-scientific leaders and the strict adherence to a materialist, atheistic worldview has not served them well in this critical time of decision.
Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
So it turns out that survival of the fittest and natural selection favor those with the spiritual discernment to perceive a forked-tongued serpent disguised as a trusted expert authority. So once again, the set-apart children of Abba Yahuwah are vindicated. We emerge with our temples genetically unscathed, with our Creator's original biological design still intact.
Wendy Williams says there's no way she's getting vaccinated. Dr. Oz tries to persuade her during an appearance on his show.
Are you planning on getting your vaccine?
No.
No.
No. I don't trust it. I've never gotten the flu shot either, though, and you and I have talked about that, and several of the doctors on my team talked to me about, Wendy, we'll get the flu shot. I've never had the flu. I'm not getting a flu shot. I very rarely get a cold. I never have headaches. I don't take an aspirin because I feel my heart murmur or something like that. I'm not getting, no, I don't trust it. There, I said it. I don't trust it.
Wendy, I got to say, I disagree. I think the vaccine is safe. So are there questions that I can answer for you about the vaccine that might make you more comfortable?
No.
None.
You doctors, you talk a lot of hocus pocus to me. And I go home and I think about it. And then I come up with my own decision because only I know ultimately what's best for me. Listen, 10 million people and more have the flu vaccine. And how many people per year catch the flu? You know, no, I'm not getting the vaccine, Dr. Oz. I'm not. I don't trust it.
And is there something in particular you don't trust about it? The fact that it was made quickly, the fact that we don't have enough follow-up? What specifically is bothering you about it?
Doctors are really smart people, but doctors don't know everything. And that's been proven as well. I'm not getting the vaccine.
I think maybe you should come over for dinner and we should talk a little bit. What do you think?
Nope.
Not about
the vaccine. You're going to put the vaccine. I'm going to come back from the bathroom and feel something stick me in the booty, and that would have been you with the needle.
She knows me.
I was stunned and flabbergasted when she told me that she wasn't going to get vaccinated.
One commentator called her remarks incredibly ignorant and destructive.
We know misery loves company. In the altered know, they cannot recruit the righteous of Israel, so they go after the rotten figs, the low-hanging fruit, those who may have a sense of right and wrong, but they love money, and they don't want to lose the glamour and glitz or whatever they've acquired in Mystery Babylon, so they let strangers stick something in their body for money, resulting in strange behavior. Some are considered celebrities, but they are all really just your run-of-the-mill, garden variety whores of Babylon.
Speaking of the vax, Wendy Williams has tested positive for the virus, and this has prompted the new season of her daytime talk show to be delayed to October. The show's official Instagram account shared a post yesterday, and they revealed that Wendy contracted a breakthrough case, which means that the TV personality got sick despite being vaccinated. The show account also shared that due to this, Wendy would need time to quarantine and fully recover for a safe production environment.
The Wendy Williams show is coming to an end, unfortunately. Yeah, producers say that the cancellations is a result of Williams' ongoing health issues. So guests have been filling in for her since the last, I should say, been filling in for her since she last hosted in July.
And there's more, including reports that Wendy was voluntarily admitted to a New York hospital for psychiatric evaluation.
Strange behavior.
Breaking entertainment news, comedian Gilbert Gottfried, who had one of the most well-known voices in Hollywood, has died. Good afternoon. This is the KTLA 5 News at 1. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. Gottfried's family announced his passing on Twitter.
Gottfried died from a rare genetic muscle disorder that affects the heart, his publicist and longtime friend told the Associated Press.
In addition to being a stand-up comedian, Gottfried was also known for voice acting in television and film, including as the voice of Iago, the parrot in Disney's Aladdin. Gottfried was 67 years old.
Jeffrey Ross called me and said Bob Saget had died. And I remember I was like, thought it was a sick joke, and I was waiting for the punchline.
I went to the pharmacy the other day. I got a booster shot, and I should have gotten it in my arm, but I got it in my butt, so I'm a little pain. But
Tonight, police releasing new details and 911 calls from comedian Bob Saget's final moments. An autopsy revealed the 65-year-old had died of trauma to the back of his head.
Comedian Heather McDonald is out of a Valley hospital tonight after she collapsed over the weekend during a show at the Tempe Improv.
She spoke with Team 12's Colleen Sikora today about the frightening tumble. And Colleen, how is she doing?
Her management saying she suffered a skull fracture in the fall.
I'm really, just recovering from hitting the back of my head really hard because I just went like timber.
Comedian Bob Saget's final moments. An autopsy revealed the 65-year-old had died of trauma to the back of his head.
I don't mean to brag, I don't care, but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, flu shot, and I'm going to be honest, I have the shingle shot too. And I still get my period. What? Yes! Traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice, so nice.
St. Clair County Emergency Management Agency Director Herb Simmons is getting creative to try and get more people to get their COVID-19 vaccine.
Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried with an important message. St. Clair County is running a COVID-19 mass vaccination site at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds.
From magical matrimony to sickness and health, pop superstar Justin Bieber by his wife Hailey's side after she was rushed to the hospital. The wife and model posting on her Instagram, "I was sitting at breakfast with my husband when I started having stroke-like symptoms."
It sounds like if she was diagnosed with a clot in the brain, that sounds like they made the diagnosis of stroke.
At 25 years old, that's rare.
The majority of patients are 70, 80 years old.
Neurosurgeon and professor with USC, Dr. Matthew Tenser says only about 10% of stroke patients are somebody less than 50. They're caused by blood clots traveling to the brain, then cutting off oxygen. Without seeing Hailey's medical records, Tenser can't know for sure, but says it looks like she did everything right.
It sounds like as soon as the symptoms started, they called 911 and she was evaluated in the hospital right away, which is exactly the right thing to do.
Signs are sudden onset symptoms of numbness or vision loss on one side of the body, inability to speak, dizziness, and a massive stroke could be devastating.
Stroke is the number one cause of disability in the U.S. At this time. It's the number 5 cause of death.
Hailey says it's one of the scariest moments of her life. The CDC says about 800,000 Americans have a stroke every year, but extremely unusual for someone Hailey's age.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
As one of Hollywood's top action heroes, Bruce Willis never backed down on the big screen. Now the star is facing a real-life challenge. His family says Willis will be stepping away from his acting career after he developed the brain disorder aphasia. While it's not known when the actor was diagnosed, crew members from recent productions tell the LA Times he showed signs of cognitive decline. Several sources told the LA Times Willis struggled with his memory and was fed lines through an earpiece or so-called earwig on sets. A device Burns told us Willis used to assist with dialogue on a film they shot in October.
We have the latest on Celine Dion. The singer's sister is speaking about the health issues keeping the superstar from returning to the stage and how long she may be out. Deborah Roberts is here with that. Good morning, Deborah.
Good morning, Michael. So many have been reaching out with love and concern for the Grammy-winning singer since her announcement of health problems.
As superstar Celine Dion copes with that health issue that's forced her off stage for now, her sister is shedding new light on the singer's battle against debilitating muscle spasms. Just days ago, the chart-topping singer announcing she was postponing her highly anticipated return to the Vegas Strip when she could no longer make it through rehearsals.
And tonight we begin with breaking news. The drummer for the hit rock band Foo Fighters, Taylor Hawkins, has died. The band posted this statement on Twitter about an hour ago, calling it an untimely loss. So far, no details have been released about what happened. Hawkins has been with the band for 25 years. Taylor Hawkins was 50 years old.
We caught up with Taylor back in 2014 when he formed a heavy metal side project called Birds of Satan. Being a musician, having the comfort of the Foo Fighters, is it easier to pursue these projects?
You've been very particular about requiring vaccinations of everybody on staff in the band, playing places where they require vaccinations. So, you know, I've been obsessed with like Van Morrison and Eric Clapton and what the heck is going on with those guys. Do you want to reach out to them and just put your hands around Eric Clapton's blues-tested neck and say, hey, brother, we got to get this together. What are you doing here?
You know, I think different bands have different policies and they do it different ways. And we just kind of do it the way that that we do it, the way that we hope keeps everyone safe.
Foo Fighters, you got to get me a record.
It's our 10th album. We got to break the mold on this one. Let's go somewhere we've never been.
This place is amazing.
Do you guys get this overwhelming sense of death? Whoa. Doesn't really seem like the right fit. Whoa, that's rad. That was weird. The sound of this house is the sound of album 10.
Studio 666 is a 2022 American horror film based on a story from Dave Grohl. Grohl stars alongside his Foo Fighter bandmates, including Taylor Hawkins, who is now deceased. In this film, Grohl is depicted as the bandleader who is first infected by the demonic black goo graphene ferrofluid substance.
The plot point conveyed in the scene by his eyes turning completely black is him becoming a vessel infused with legions of unclean spirits, which then methodically murder and lead his bandmates to an untimely demise.
Let's finish the track.
Can't we just wait, dude?
Play the drums.
The trailer shows a scene where a possessed Grohl aggressively demands Taylor Hawkins to just play the drums. This becomes a strange coincidence when you consider that in the real world, Grohl mandated his band and fans to undergo an experimental treatment which has a myriad of unforeseen consequences.
At the end of the trailer, they make a point to show Dave Grohl sacrificing Taylor Hawkins. Strange behavior.
What do we do? We go save his ass.
Is the album almost done?
Yeah, it's killer.
Here you go, man. Finish the song.
You did.
you've been very particular about requiring vaccinations of everybody on staff in the band, playing places where they require vaccinations.
Whether we admit it or not, there is something unprecedented taking place right before our eyes.
So anecdotal evidence, I mean, I have a lot of interaction with the cardiology community across the UK, and anecdotally I've been getting told by colleagues that they are seeing younger and younger people coming in with heart attacks. Now, what does this mean in terms of the data? We have to put the jigsaw for the pieces together. We know since July there's been almost 10,000 excess non-COVID deaths. And most of those, or significant proportion of those, are being driven by circulatory disease, in other words, heart attack and stroke. There's been a 30% increase in people dying at home. And often these are because of cardiac arrests. Of course, this is also something close to my heart because my own father is one of those statistics. He had a cardiac arrest at home July the 26th, so when since this data has been collected. So where do we go from here? I think the signal is quite strong. I personally think that this needs investigating.
Everyone who is spiritually in tune and paying attention can see the uptick in crime, murder, suicide, hatred, senseless violence, and war.
Mental illness and all manner of incoherent, irrational evil is on the rise.
A woman accused of setting 2 churches on fire Friday night faced a judge today. Tonight, we're learning she's no stranger to local law enforcement. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Courtney Zeller is joining us live right now from New Britain Superior Court. And Courtney, any idea what was really behind this whole thing here?
Well, Mark, 2 friends tell us they were inside the courtroom today. They say that this woman has been practicing witchcraft and worshiping the devil. We did get our hands on the arrest warrant. In those documents, police say they saw her on surveillance video in that area where those churches are. When they picked her up, her clothes smelled like smoke. She had 2 lighters on her. They also say she had religious documents on her as well that they believe she would only have obtained if she was inside that building. 30-year-old Kimora Parker appears virtually inside a New Britain Superior courtroom.
Kimora, just...
Right. Okay, Ms. Parker. Ms. Parker.
A brief outburst by Parker as she was trying to tell a judge what happened Friday night. 2 of her friends were inside the courtroom. This man tells us he's known Parker for 15 years. He says she has been worshiping the devil.
She started worshiping Santeria and witchcraft, Wicca, all that stuff. That's what she's practicing, and that's what she's putting in her home. She's taking elements from our streets, breaking them and using them part of her rituals, and she put it in her home, and she said that it's time for the world to change.
I think she's having a mental breakdown. I think that's what it is. I think she's just psychologically just not there. She's losing her grip on reality.
Police say the fires were set 45 minutes apart. One at this vacant church, St. Matthew's Lutheran Church on Franklin Square, and another at this synagogue on Winter Street. The fire started in the basement and extended up into the walls. Parker will remain under suicide watch. Her friends tell us they hope she gets the help she needs.
I just want you to do right. And burning churches is not righteous. You already burned a Bible. I just hope that God can touch you anointedly while you're in there and make a change for you.
Colorado Springs man accused of stabbing his mother before lighting her house on fire was back in court today.
Court documents say Urashka Graham confessed to killing his mother, telling police he was possessed by a demon before committing the crime.
Edward Heather, Urashka Graham claims he was possessed by a demon after having a conversation about religion with a friend of his. Today I spoke to that friend who didn't want to be on camera, but told me Urashka killing his mother makes no sense to her. Colorado Springs police respond to Cheyenne Road on reports of a house fire and find a dead body.
I called 911. I was the first one here.
Zechariah Andrews recalls the day Teresa Graham, the 74-year-old homeowner, was found under a tarp, grill, and other items. Monday, her son Urashka Graham was arrested for her murder. Graham was already in jail for attempted first-degree murder for crimes allegedly committed that same day. In the 12-page affidavit, investigators detail a jail phone call where Urashka says a friend named Marion Fagan allegedly put a demon inside him. When officers interviewed Fagan, she said she gave Urashka a crystal ball to, quote, help clear himself because things were weighing on him. I went directly to Fagan to ask her about his comments.
He was possessed by a demon after an interaction here at your house.
Court documents also reveal a confession to a jail guard. Yurashka allegedly said, quote, "I want to confess to a crime. I know that I killed my mother." When investigators interviewed Yurashka, he told them, quote, "I was possessed by a demon. Drugs made me do it."
An update now to yesterday's bizarre attack that left a man dead at a River Oaks area high-rise apartment.
Now the family of the man accused of going on that deadly rampage is speaking out.
Yeah, before the 25-year-old allegedly stabbed one man and carjacked and killed another here at this luxury high-rise yesterday, family members say he called 911 several times trying to get mental health help that never came.
25-year-old Ronnie Caesar Jr. allegedly went on an unusual deadly crime spree at a Houston luxury high-rise. But before doing that, she says he was telling his mom he saw ghosts and the ghosts were attacking his son.
He was like, "Yes, it is, Mom. Yes, it is." He said, "Y'all can't see him?"
Caesar allegedly carjacked construction foreman 67-year-old Carl Hayes around 3:20 a.m. on Tuesday as crews worked on the Hanover Archery Park apartments, but the crime didn't stop there. Caesar is said to have run over Hayes, killing him, then rammed the stolen pickup through the high-rise. Caesar supposedly smashed into the building again, targeting the office where the concierge ducked in to hide. A third man was then stabbed, supposedly by Caesar, and the 25-year-old was ultimately shot and tased by Houston police. Christie is referring to what she says was Caesar's week-long cry for help. He lives in Beaumont, and she says he called 911 13 times since last Monday, saying he needed mental health help.
A mental officer from Beaumont did come out, but they said that he wasn't a harm to himself or to others.
She says Friday, the 25-year-old's mom was told the same thing when she went before a judge to get help for him. The family says Caesar was doing well until something happened in college. We found him listed on the honor roll in 2016 on the college's website.
You stand still now!
Can Arslan in the black T-shirt has just murdered his neighbour moments before this was filmed.
Put it down! Put it down!
Another neighbour and off-duty police officer tries to stop him as he breaks into his next victim's home. Arslan then stabs another man 8 times who survived, managing to push him away. He murdered 43-year-old father of 3 Matthew Borman. It's something Arslan warned police he'd do the night before the attack.
Multiple agencies and authorities were warned of the threat that this man posed. Although Matthew's murder has shocked us all to the core, the incident was not remotely out of the blue. The response was toothless and ineffective.
The 52-year-old was diagnosed with an antisocial personality disorder, something the court heard made him hear voices telling him to kill people.
We've obviously learned a lot about his mental health through reports that we've had done leading up to the trial, which shows him as a very angry and violent individual.
A woman behind bars for killing her son in McHenry County says she suffered from postpartum psychosis and saw demons and heard voices before the murder. Shaw Local News Network reports Joanne Cunningham made the claim in a court petition asking for relief. At one point, she claims she asked a priest, a chaplain, and Andrew Friend to perform an exorcism around the time of the killing.
In closing, we must pray that we be granted the spiritual discernment and Holy Spirit-inspired vigilance, so we will be able to see things as they truly are and not just as they appear to be.
Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. For the froward is abomination to the Lord, but his secret is with the righteous. The curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked, but he blesseth the habitation of the just. Surely he scorneth the scorners, but he giveth grace unto the lowly. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools.
In Haiti, a divine spirit is called a Loa.
The Red Sox are mourning the loss of former shortstop Julio Lugo, who died Monday morning. ESPN's Enrique Rojas first reported his passing after being told by the family that he died at age 45 with belief that he suffered a heart attack.
Sad news to report from Major League Baseball this morning as the Detroit Tigers first base coach Camaro Barti has died. Barti passed away suddenly on Monday.
NFL great Demaryius Thomas has been found dead inside his home.
Incredibly heartbreaking. Demaryius was so young. He was just 33 years old. Here at Roswell Police, they tell us that his death stemmed from some type of medical issue. That's really all they would say. Now the Broncos are also, of course, reacting to this news. They say they are heartbroken by the sudden and tragic passing of such an incredible player.
In the Gregorian year of 2018, there was a spiritually significant changing of the guard, which took place at a New Orleans music festival.
One of this year's Voodoo Fest headliners has canceled his performance. Look at this. Today, organizers announcing that Childish Gambino was forced to cancel so he can continue to recover from a recent tour injury. Travis Scott reportedly will perform in his place on Saturday.
Travis Scott kicked off his Astro World Tour at the 2018 Voodoo Fest.
Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them, and saith unto him, All these things I will give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
I give you anything. I give you anything. I give it to you now. Right now.
The deceiver.
I would dream at the end of the world.
The end of the world.
I would see the heavens break. Fire.
Near. But who's who? Who's who?
Deep end. You're throwing me right in the deep end. You're throwing me right in the deep end.
Don't sleep. Wake up. It's time. He who has ears, let him hear.
Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sin.
Have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them.
Though this has been one of our most challenging videos to create, we have received some of the most positive reviews and feedback to date, and we appreciate all the encouragement from our supporters. And if you would like to support this ministry by viewing our latest presentation, you can join our Patreon by visiting patreon.com/ShatterParadise, or sign up and view on any one of our websites at shatteredparadise.com or shatteredparadisepresents.com. The links are in the description box below. Thank you for your support.